Titanium is an ambitious mod aiming to iron out every little bag from stainless steel. In the process, it introduced several changes, including the latest version of the stainless steel named Overhawl project, a mod I had been working on, aiming for strictly historical names. Titanium Alpha version 0.85 with 2 patches is a reasonably stable version currently available for download, and I will be playing the early period Byzantine Empire, known more historically correctly as the Romans. They had no special name for their empire, and Emperor Alexius was referred to as Basilius Romaeon, the Emperor of the Romans, and his dominions as Basilia Romaeon, the Empire of the Romans. The people too called themselves Romans, and that was how they were referred to by all others except for the Catholic states that preferred to refer to the empire as Romania or even Greek Empire, so as not to upset the Pope and anyone else who wanted a Roman Empire to be associated with Rome. Formerly known as the Eastern Roman Empire, the Empire of the Romans was now a shadow of its former self, imprisoned in its glorious past and holding fast on the old traditions, both military and religious. But that is also an oversimplification. After all, there were paved roads, baths and aqueducts in all major cities, formidable fortifications, and inventions such as the siphons spewing Greek fire, inflammable grenades and scalthorpe-like projectiles that have been found in excavator storerooms of Byzantine castles. The Byzantines introduced silk fabrics to Europe, and their manufacture was a trade kept secret for centuries. The state inherited from Rome a centralized non-feudal administration and sponsored a form of lifelong military national service by landed soldiery known as pronia, another innovation often overlooked. The Byzantine spearmen were actually pikemen, who deployed in rank and file in what they literally called a phalanx formation, and the kontos was not a spear, but the name of the pike. A spear was called a dory. But in this mode, the Byzantine contarati were given a long spear rather than a pike to avoid making this an OP faction. After all, the empire was in decay, and by this time could only raise 2 brigades of professional soldiers, so that is not too unhistorical. Nonetheless, their army prefigured, more than any other European state, the infantry of the Renaissance, armed with pikes. The Roman emperor at this time was Alexius Comnenus, an energetic general that had staged a coup in Constantinople overthrowing the former emperor. We know a lot about his reign from the history written by his daughter, the Princess Anna Comnena, known as the Alexiad. Anna Comnena and other historians of that time referred to Constantinople as Byzantium, and this is what the modern term Byzantine Empire is based on. Alexius Comnenus intermarried into powerful aristocratic families such as the Palaeologus, Ducas, and Angelus, and practically every emperor from now on bore one of these surnames, and they were all distant or not so distant relatives of each other. For the victory conditions, we have to reconquer the lost heartlands of the empire in Greece and Asia Minor, as well as take back Jerusalem and eliminate the scourge of the Turks, as well as Venice and the Normans. The campaign is on very hard, and so let us to it. Here is the list of major modders. Gracchus and Germanicus were perhaps the main modders of the later versions of stainless steel, and the major figures leading the titanium project were Andy the Platypus, and Melo, Somewhere down the list figures also Geoffrey and yours truly. And so off to Byzantium, the seat of the Roman Emperor Alexius Comnenus, the intelligent, military-minded founder of the Comnenian dynasty. Here is a list of all faction members, of which there are plenty. Manuel Vutumaitis is spelled as if he was a girl or a disease. I will change his spelling shortly. Alexius Comnenus Ducas was a relative of the emperor. Ioannis Comnenus was his son and heir. Nicephorus Bryennius, his son-in-law, married to Anna Comnena. Batazis was a general, as were some of the other figures. Angelos was a member of an aristocratic family, soon to intermarry with a Comneni.
Yes, Lord.
Georgios Palaiologos was a brother-in-law and a very capable general, and the Lascaris was a member of another aristocratic family that became part of the extended royal family of Byzantium. Back up the list again. Here is our emperor, and here is Ioannis Comnenus, his son and heir. Nicephorus Bryennius was his son-in-law, and Georgios Palaiologos his brother-in-law, his best general, and the son of a general that had been active in the east. He is governor of Dyrrachium, as he was in actual history. There are a couple of things I do not like. Some minor things. There was no town ever called Dardanelia. The major towns of that location were Abydos and the adjoining Lampsakos, so we'll rename it to Abydos. Here's our glorious empire, at least formerly glorious, and perhaps to become glorious again. Far to the east, cut off from the rest of the empire, is Trebizond or Trapezus. And somewhat further to the north, there is also another dismembered remnant of the empire in Crimea, the city of Chersonesus, so run down that it has become a village by the looks of it, and there is also the nearby fort of Kaffa. Chersonesus is suffering from low public order, and there is little we can do for the time being, so the garrison will withdraw to Kaffa and bide their time there.
Orders. Command me. Move out. Orders.
Nicephorus Bryennius leaves Adrianople for Byzantium. The emperor takes the entire imperial army, well, a few companies is all it is, boards it into ships and sails off for SSNOP that has been lost to the empire.
Onto the ships.
Plotting course now, my lord.
This, yes?
Alexius Batazis becomes governor of Adrianople. Manuel Vutumaitis strengthens the garrison of Nicaea. Nicephorus Bryennius recruits some militia for Constantinople, as it now needs a garrison. Prince Ioannis Comnenus starts building a port in Thessalonica. Strange it does not have one being such a significant place. It does not even seem to have a Christian church. Everything seems so run down in this empire. Alexius Comnenus Ducas visits Athens that has become so run down it has nothing except a wooden fence, and there he meets his kinsman Adrianos Comnenus Ducas, who leaves immediately for Thessalonica. Alexius Comnenus Ducas is so disappointed at the condition Athens is in that he leaves and returns to his castle in Corinth.
Orders?
There he recruits some Acontistae, that is javeliners, and so does also Georgius Palaeologus in Dyrrhachion. He also commissions some barracks. A castle without barracks is like a town without a town hall.
Orders?
Hiding our forces from enemy eyes, my lord.
Constantinos Angelos happened to be in the fort of Marmaris, but he is needed in Smyrna, which does not have a governor, so off he goes. And there he commissions a dirt road. The paved roads of the empire seem to have vanished under the dust left behind by the horses of the marauding Saracens. Trebizond surely needs a little church for heaven's sake, and also a stronger garrison, being as it is so stranded out. So a unit of levy archers is recruited. Paris is an odd choice, a small town at this time, much smaller than nearby Philadelphia and Laodicea, but it is there because later it became, like Sparta, a more significant Ottoman town. Being a frontier town, it needs some barracks. Abydos has nothing but some dirt roads, so they need some fields to grow something to eat, because the soldiers are tired of eating every day boiled leaves and pine seeds.
Lord.
We need a market somewhere, maybe on Crete. The soldiers garrisoning Corinth also need to eat, so some fields there please. Pine seeds are a tedious diet. Back in Constantinople. The once illustrious city is so run down, the citizenry all have to live on pine seeds, so some fields here too. There is nothing to do in Chersonesus, not even a football field, and nothing to eat. The people are rioting, with good reason, but the garrison is also living on fresh air, and there is nothing to build, as there is not even wood or stone available, or maybe no tools to make anything. So they leave for Kaffa, where they will be safe from the angry mobs. Meanwhile in Cyprus, another stranded remnant of the empire, there was no place called Nicosia at the time. The capital of the island was called Constantia, so the governor, Eustathius Lampinas, notices the anachronistic mistake and corrects it. Constantia it shall be.
Yes, my lord. Yes, lord.
Our emperor is off to Sinope. Here are our agents.
Where to?
Yes, my
Our spy, Ioannis Lampinos, is off to rediscover Hungary, as all the maps were burned by the marauding Normans.
moving.
Our merchant, Demetrius Cephalas, changes the location of his silk trading business. And we are now in the summer of the year 1100. The Moorish emir is dead. The hungry folk of Chersonesus are rioting and burning their own homes, as there is nothing else in Chersonesus to burn, so no loss there. Poor relations with Georgia. Levies recruited everywhere to garrison our towns. Nicephorus Bryennius has visited the Hagia Sophia, and the other generals are gaining useful traits as well. Despite the remarkable desolation of the empire, we are the strongest faction, militarily wise, and the largest faction. The Turks are stronger overall, something to worry about. Emperor Alexius disembarks and lays siege on Sinope. Our finances are faltering. Nicephorus Bryennius has a son named Alexius, a nice name for a hopeful royal. And on to the year 1101, still the largest and strongest empire. Batages and Butometes scare off some rebels near Nicaea.
Yes! Crossing for battle! My lord, we are big. Orders? Lord.
Then Alexius Batages takes up the governorship of Nicaea, as Butometes keeps an eye on the rebels. Our Imperial army besieging Sinope has spent 6 months building a siege ram. That is what is called lazy. We need more.
Your orders?
Yes, my lord.
Orders?
The garrison of Kaffa sails over and joins the Imperial army so there can be some progress building those rams.
Yes! Crossing for battle! They're going nowhere, my lord. The siege continues.
And here is again the modding team. Thanks to all and to you for watching this first episode of the spanking new Titanium campaign.